Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome.
What's
Welcome to the Noonchi podcast. If you can't tell, for all those people watching on YouTube, we completely went ghetto style today.
Yeah.
Bobby, why are we sitting on the floor?
Pyunmek episode.
So for those that didn't listen, and if you didn't understand, in the previous episode with Dolly from No Brain, Dolly was the person that taught Bobby about the concept of pyunmek or pyunijum 맥주, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not necessarily that we just drink beer and whatever, but you know, the idea of getting drunk on the cheap right now, right?
Yeah.
And so before we actually rolled cameras and sound for this episode,
Mm-hmm.
We actually went to the pyunijum to show everybody what the hell we bought for our usual pyunijum 맥주.
Yeah, we did a little vlog. So if you want to check that out, you can actually go to YouTube and see what we bought and actually see what we're actually eating. If you're tuning in on a podcast app and can't see, we're going to explain everything we're eating. We're going to do some ASMR.
Right.
So
this is definitely like the weirdest podcast, like, what do you call it? Like a fusion podcast / ASMR vlog. This is just basically this is like the kogi taco of YouTube videos.
Yeah, we're doing something new here, and possibly the first to ever do it. And maybe we'll create our own genre of show. It's like a mukbang podcast, ASMR, what do you call it? YouTube vlog.
Right. But before we get into that, can you say genre of your own show one more time, please?
A genre.
What the fuck happened? What happened to your English, bro?
That's how they say it in Korean, right? Genre.
No, they say
genre.
No, they say 장르.
장르. Okay.
장르.
Totally off.
Totally wrong, right? 장르.
Oh man! And today we have actually someone behind the camera, so we might every now and then talk to someone, and we have a new guy on our team,
right?
Dong-un, who's a comedian,
right? He's a comedian, and he might be the darkest stand-up comic in Korea. I mean, fucking dark.
I have a B-roll camera here for all our food and stuff, so I'm gonna.
So we should probably get to the ramyeon that we already cooked, because of the fact that it's probably udon now because we took forever to set up. Right?
I'll let you start on what you got. What did you buy?
So I bought the quintessential. Mm-hmm. I think for a Korean American, everyone knows shinramyeon, right? So I got a bowl of shinramyeon, the instant noodles, and I also bought some kimbap, the cheese tonkatsu kimbap.
Oh, and I noticed you nuked that.
And I nuked the hell out of it.
Okay.
So what's going to happen first is I'm going to just start by eating shinramen like normal.
Okay.
Right? And then in the middle of it, the kimbap comes into play.
Oh, how's okay, all right. Well, we'll see what you're going to do. Well, we also have the pour drinks too. We got makgeolli.
Right.
Traditionally, so what we're doing this pyunmek thing, but for those that can see, we have a tochari.
Yeah.
Which is Korean for mat.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this is what they typically would use like at the hangang, at the river, during a picnic. They put it out. And we did that with our set today. We're sitting on the floor. Me and Danny are like leaning against the walls with a tochari.
Are you okay? I'm still not comfortable eating on the floor.
You're not.
Yeah.
Even when you're picnicking?
Well, I mean, the hangang, what are you going to do? Are you going to go? I mean, there are tables, but I mean, there was a time when Dong-un and I and a bunch of other comedians, maybe a month ago, ASMR, we went to the hangang and we ate. We ordered chicken and pizza.
Here, 두손, bitch. Just kidding. Asshole Bobby's gonna come out in this episode. So
I should
I
receive.
just said 2 hands.
I should receive with 2 hands, ladies and gentlemen. But I have never received 2 hands from Bobby for 15 years, and I'm not going to start now. So kiss my
Anyway,
ass.
cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
We're drinking makgeolli because, as you know, Danny and I can't drink beer.
One of the comedians, young kid, Chaegyu. You've seen him at the Watch not the Watch Mojo, the Watcha special.
Oh yeah.
One of the guys.
Yeah.
He's the youngest out of all the comedians.
Okay.
He has Tongpung too now.
Oh really? Oh right, nice. I'm sad for him, but happy for us that we have more.
Because he's not a fat guy. You know what I mean? Like he's like a fit guy. He's a jujitsu instructor, and so when I see fit guys with gout, I'm like, yes, yes, welcome to my club.
By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is really authentic today because we have the window open. So we can have the outside sound, like we're doing a picnic, or we're actually at a pyunijum, sitting outside. We have this red light to kind of look like the sun setting. So Danny and I are having like a romantic date. This is how we would do it if you're a couple.
So you know what? I prefer Korean. What do you call it? Convenience store food compared to like 7-Elevens back home, because what they have over there is like nachos and hot dogs, right? You know, here you can have full-blown meals. I am going to start eating some ramen because I'm hungry.
All right, but you gotta make sure we can hear you eating it, the ASMR part of it. Oh my gosh, look at dude.
Ooh.
You would kill it in that game.
One more time. But why? What's ASMR? Like, is it?
I don't know.
Isn't it supposed to make people like fall asleep?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All I know, it has something to do with sound effects or like, yeah. I don't know. Anyway. Good job. You just finished all of your ramen in 2 bites.
No, there's more. There's more. Shut up.
Put this down for a sec.
No, but see, here's the thing. The reason why I did that, to create some space.
Here's my chocolate.
Because now it's time for me to open up the kimbap.
Oh, yeah. You got like cheese, tonkatsu.
Kimbap.
So, cheese, pork cutlet, kimbap.
What I'm going to do is...
Fried pork.
Bloop, bloop.
Oh my goodness. You're just dropping the kimbap in there?
Bloop, bloop.
Did you just make this up, or this is what you actually do?
I do this.
Did you learn this, or you just figure this out yourself?
One time I was super drunk, and then I'm going to make kind of like a... ramen, you always have to have pop with the kungmu, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just doing it earlier. You know?
Okay.
Put it
Wow.
in.
So you're just doing like what the end of a meal, bokumbap
Yeah,
thing?
like the kukbap, like
Oh
the
my
ramen bap, right? But then now you have rice, you have this soaked. Now the kimbap is soaked with the ramen juice, right?
Yeah.
And you have that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude. Oh man, yo, fuck the podcast, man. I'm gonna eat. So good. It doesn't visually. It's not pleasing, right? This is not going to get a million hits. But wow, tebak, this is a new creation. This is a fat guy, jampong mix. You know.
All right. Got the setting right on that. So Danny is doing his thing, and I'm about to show you my move. Hopefully my ramen is still hot. By the way, this concept could totally fail.
All right, here, let me focus on you now,
Okay.
and I'll talk. I just
Okay.
need to press this button, right?
No, it's already filming, right? So really, I mean, we have cameras on us, so don't film me. Film more the whole
food.
So I got a wang tukong. which means king
lid.
King lid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Top.
Yeah.
So the lid is actually really important too because this is where I put like my accoutrements.
Accoutrement.
Yeah. This is kind of 부었어 already. It kind of 부었어 means it's bloated.
It's 부었어.
부었어. 부었어.
Buoso also means bloated, but that's more for your body.
Right. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do. Here's my move. And I learned this from No Brain and Dolly and those guys. I take one of these chamchi cans. And be careful because these are not the safest. I've cut myself on these. And then I throw that whole can in. Shit. In to the wangtukang, right?
Including the oils and the juices and all
Yeah.
that stuff, right?
That, right? This might not work, but then you got this ramen sook cheese. It's cheese. It's basically mozzarella cheese, you know, the shredded cheese. And then it's not gonna melt though. It's like it's not hot enough. Oh, and I put this in there. The
What do you call it? The
do not use Everfresh 먹지 마세요 thing. What do you call it?
you're supposed to. You can hold on to that so that when you have like wet shoes.
Oh yeah. Oh, Danny, our hack, what is it? Life hack expert. So I'm gonna mix in this cheese a little bit. I'm not gonna finish this whole thing. I think if I did, I'd be in trouble. But also we have kimchi. We should probably eat this kimchi too. I'll put a little bit in the ramen. Who doesn't like kimchi in their ramen?
I personally believe that my move is better than your move.
Okay. To each his own. So here's my concoction. This is what I get at Pyunmek.
All right.
I get a wangtukong and I get a chamchi can. Oh, and then to top it off, there's corn. So I'll put some corn in there too. Yeah. Corn. We got a spoon. Usually I just dump it in, you know. Oh yeah. Come on, tell me this is not a great. All right, now it's kebab.
Kebab.
This is what they give dogs.
Yeah. Not kebab.
Dude, man, I'm like
Kebab.
that's a lucky dog right here. I'm a lucky dog.
ASMR, dude.
God damn, that's good. I'm not even joking. That is so good.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Dude, they should make a Dorito flavor.
Dorito flavor. Kebab flavored Doritos.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We should just eat the rest of
Right? We should say fuck the podcast. Thanks for listening. Is that what we're going to get into?
My goodness. I need a napkin. Oh my goodness.
I stopped recording.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
To wash this down, we're gonna have some makgeolli.
You know what? What we should have done is that we should have tried each other's. You know, to test if.
No, that's okay. I like mine better. It just I don't know. But you just had just a regular ramen, right?
Yeah.
And then you put the kimbap in there.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's a good move. Like I've never seen it done.
See, because the seaweed of the kimbap gives it a little bit of the ocean flavor. right? The 바다의 향기, right? Ocean smell.
Yeah.
And then it has the pickled radish, the 단무지, right? For a little bit of that crunch.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you want some actual protein, you got some of that tonkatsu.
I like that move, the tonkatsu. And you got the cheese in there already, so you didn't have to add your own cheese. Mine actually, I think this actually comes out to a lot, like money-wise. Like the corn itself was like, I think it was like 2,000원. The chamchi was like 2,000원, right? And the wangtukang was like probably 1,500원. 1,500원, maybe.
And then you had kimchi too.
Might as well have gone to the restaurant.
Right, you should have went and got a regular.
But come on, if you're at the park or the hangang or Pyunmek,
Right.
I don't know. I think this is a good move if you don't want to go to the restaurant. You're eating alone. You know, I would pay $6 for this.
Okay, so 동훈아, if 만약에 you saw somebody outside, right? 바깥에서 혼자서 술 마시는 거 봤는데 바비처럼 먹는 게 더 불쌍해 아니면 나처럼 먹는 게 더 불쌍해? What looks more kind of fucked up?
Who would you feel more sorry for?
만약에 네가 1,000원을 준다. 그러면 어떤 불쌍한 새끼한테 줄 거야?
나는 데니 형한테 줄 것 같아.
왜?
Oh yeah.
Why?
돈이 많잖아요. 저거 만드는.
내가 돈이 많잖아. I have more money.
사서 먹으세요.
Look how cute this little
egg
carton thing is. It's totally a waste of packaging, but
Wait, is it raw?
no, it's hard boiled.
Oh.
So this is like an extra treat. You know, eggs. You get them at this. You know, you can buy these. Got these at the sauna.
Yeah.
Like traditionally, you go to get a steam or whatever, like a dry, and they put eggs in there because it's so hot in there. They hard boil eggs. Or they don't boil them. They actually
Cook them.
right?
Right.
But I got us some eggs too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Do you want to break them? Or do you not even want one?
I want to eat it later.
Okay, well, we'll save this for later. We
Yeah.
have a carton for it too.
No, because if we
full?
wait on our ramyeon, then we're not going to have any more juice. It's going to be like pure
Oh,
just
that's true,
noodles.
yeah.
But
That's
Babo,
another thing, yeah.
like you've been here for what, like 9 years now, right?
9 years, yeah.
Are you cool with sitting on the floor? You can. I still can't do it. Like I don't know how to keep from my leg falling asleep. Like do you have a trick?
Actually, now that you mention it, I
Right.
guess, yeah, I'm not having as much trouble as you are because I can see you're moving around a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm umjigoing like crazy right now. That was
Yeah.
a verb that you just did. Umjigoing. That's what you
You're
did.
umjigging.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of feel okay right now.
Really?
Yeah, you're kind of leaning back against the wall. I'm kind of jealous about that, so I'll do that too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I
feel okay. Cross-legged, Indian style.
I think that's one thing that Western people probably have the most trouble with in Korea is
yeah.
eating on the floor. Like you know, there's some restaurants where it's like everybody's sitting on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some uncomfortable shit for me still.
Yeah, but even Koreans are kind of tired of those restaurants where you have to go in and take your shoes off, right?
But I feel like those restaurants
Yeah.
have to be good.
They have to be good.
If you are sitting on the floor eating, it
That's true.
better be really delicious because this is 불편하게 먹으면 그러면 it has to be 대박 맛있어야 돼, right?
맞아.
Right?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
because that's true. I won't go back somewhere if I know it's going to be.
Yeah, if the food
불편해.
sucks and I have to sit on the fucking floor,
Yeah.
then I'd be like,
Good point.
넌 망해야 돼, right? So like, it's
Dear
a very
Korea. We'll start the Dear Korea. Yo, Dear Korea. If you're going to make us take our shoes off, it better be damn good,
Yeah,
the food. Yeah.
that's what I think it is. If you like my gauge, my two gauges for whether or not a Korean restaurant is good is during the daytime. If I see old people at the restaurant, then I know it's good because old people don't like to spend money like that, right? And then the second one is if you're sitting on the floor, that better be good, you know. Like when we went to Gapyeong, was it Gapyeong? We Donghoon and a bunch of comedians. We went to MT or whatever, right? And then we ate some
Empty?
like just hang out at a pension, right, near the beach.
That's what they. I thought MT was motel.
Membership training is actually what the shortened.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's like
Okay.
it's where like where groups go and basically fuck around, right? So
okay.
a bunch of us went, and then we went to like a kalguksu place, and we sat on the floor,
Yeah.
and I went, fuck this shit. But then I ate it, and I was like, okay, it's good, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think it was 가평? 가평이? What was the place called? 어디더라? 강릉.
강릉. That's like an hour away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
근데 I think the reason why they still have places where you sit on the floor, it's like it's easier to manage. Like you don't have to worry about what is that, chairs, sweeping, like.
What do you mean? You still have to sweep?
Yeah, I mean you can dust stuff, but like you don't have to worry about having like crusty floors with like people walking from outside.
Right.
It's easier to manage. It's probably more sanitary if you think about it.
Because everyone's taking off their shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not like, totally against it. I just like agree with you. The food better be good.
It better be good,
Yeah.
right? So did I tell you like my parents were so strict when I was younger?
Yeah.
And it's the four of us, right? So my mom and dad and my sister, right? And so sometimes they would want to eat on the floor, with the low table.
Oh, really? They
right?
did?
And I was like, what the fuck? Why? Are you doing this?
Why?
But then they would make us. We have to kneel. We'd have to kneel on the floor until my father says it's okay to eat.
Is that a Korean tradition thing?
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to get Dongwon some
Yeah. So they
makgeolli.
say. So I'm told that is like really old school,
Yeah.
old school shit.
So your dad brought that tradition over in the 70s
Yeah.
or 80s, was it?
Yeah. So to be like so I'd be on my knees, right? So 그 뭐라고 불러 이 바닥에서 먹는 게? What do you call that? Is that
앉아서 먹는 거?
바닥에서 앉아서 먹는 거?
좌식?
좌식?
Yeah.
Yeah. So eat 좌식, but then so like 이놈의 좌식. But then so we would eat on the floor. Sometimes 좌식하면 아빠가 무릎 먼저 꿇어야 된대. And then he goes 편안하게 앉아. 그러면 그때 앉아야 된다고, right? So
Okay.
that was like his form of like old school teaching, and I was like, okay, but why aren't we using the fucking table over there? Right? We have a dining table.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? And then Korean people love to say this. Korean traditional 어쩌저쩌, right? So like
Yeah.
so like it's like Korean traditional dinner table. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like when I'm with other Koreans and we have foreigners visiting, and when I hear them explaining stuff, they always use that like, oh, this is a 복분자, Korean traditional plum wine. Or like,
Everything's traditional something, right?
yeah.
Like Chon is like Korean traditional pancake.
Yeah.
Right.
The name of the show will be Korean traditional Pyunmek. Oh man, I have a lot left. Like a lot of food left. Yeah. I think this was a good call. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna look like or how it's gonna turn out. The audio part of this, I can already tell you it's
a disaster.
yeah, it's not as good because we keep
Moving around.
yeah, we're not talking into the mics. We keep like eating and moving and
Because I feel bad because whoever's gonna use these mics next is gonna it's gonna smell like ramyeon and be like, what the
right.
fuck?
But I sanitize these every time.
So not our. I was listening to a mutual friends of ours podcast, Dumbfounded's podcast, Fun with Dumb.
Yeah.
And the last episode that they had it was Dumbfounded, Rick from Year of the Ox, and then Rex Dizzy, right?
Okay, the regulars.
The regulars. And they had a conversation about Japanese ramen and Korean ramyeon, right?
Yeah. What about it?
What's better? Right? Now, Rick went on to say that he's not a big fan of Japanese ramen because it's too oily, right?
Well, that depends, but yeah, sure.
Right. And then most people say Korean instant ramen because you can do more things with it.
But it's completely different categories.
That's what I said. I said
Yeah.
it's like a high end pizza, like a place, like a
Like Gino's or Tom's Pizza.
right versus a Mr. or more pizza or like Pizza Factory School or whatever stupid pizza joint. You know what I mean? Like you know that kind of thing, right?
DiGiorno's.
Right. So the my question to you is,
Oh, DiGiorno's. I mean, I like DiGiorno, so yeah, I guess I could say that.
do you put what is something you have to put in ramen?
In ramen?
Do you just go
Wait.
straight hot water and soup, or do you do extra shit? Do you put like green onions, or do you put like cheese or egg, and even the egg? Do you like once it's boiling? Do you throw it in and mix it?
Yeah.
Or do you do like
Oh man, we could talk forever about this.
Do you
I love
poach
this.
it? Do you poach it?
Yeah.
You know, like what is the move? You know.
I tend to poach it.
Okay.
But sometimes I feel like I love the motion of, whisking the eggs in like a bowl with a chopstick. For some reason, I like doing that. And then I'll throw it in.
So you kind of
At
make
the opportune
like
time.
an egg drop soup almost.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but then doesn't it?
It's one or the other. I don't like to. Sometimes I'll swirl it in there, but I like it sort of poached, but not completely.
Right.
Like I'll let it sit in there for 30 seconds, and then I'll start to move it around a little.
But don't you think it ruins the kumur when you throw in when you swirl the egg?
To a certain extent, because sometimes I don't want egg.
You
Like
don't
my
want egg.
wife will ask me if I want ramen with an egg in it, and I would say 50% of the time I would say no egg.
No egg.
Yeah, because I don't like the consistency of the soup. Sometimes I want that soup to be, great. Oh, there we go, mosquito. So we have the tennis racket today.
Right. So is there a extra add-on that you have to have?
Well, I mean, if I have time and I'm not like lazy, but usually when I'm eating ramen, it's when I'm hungover.
Right.
So I don't do that much. But when I do want to fancy it up, I'll slice some pa, like green onion, spring onion. I'll cut that up, or slice a real white onion really thin. I'll do that. The most common thing I often do is I find the oldest kimchi I have, and I'll throw like 2 spoonfuls of
Inside?
kimchi in the ramen.
So not as a side dish. You throw
No,
it inside.
I throw it while I'm cooking it.
Okay.
So I'm making sort of like a kimchi jjigae, kind of budae-jjigae kind of thing.
Right.
That I love to do. You got to put some kumar in there too, the kimchi kumar, the kimchi soup. Oh no, the kimchi, what do you call it? I don't know how to say kumar in
The
English.
juice.
The juice.
Do you put a slice of cheese? Like some people like to put a slice of cheese in the ramen.
I've never been a fan of that, but I won't turn it away. Like I wouldn't turn it away. I would if someone gave me cheese ramen, I'd eat it. Yeah. But it's never really appealed to me, I would say. Like,
How about
Yeah.
tteokguk?
yeah, no, I've done that, but I'm not it's not like a go-to move for me.
So you're more of if pa and eggs are probably the extra toppings.
Yeah, and I don't put like chamchi and stuff in it. Actually, chamchi is really bad for gout.
Yeah.
Any canned fish,
Right.
canned meat,
Yeah.
actually is really bad for gout. So
It's all right, man. You guys had boom. You're fine, man.
yeah, I finally have insurance and I get gout medicine, so I'm gonna have to take that tonight.
Right. So for me, what I learned from the Fun with Dumb podcast, if you guys are listening, you want to listen to another podcast, go watch Fun with Dumb or subscribe to it. But,
Yeah, I really love that one. Yeah, I
But
like
the
that.
way they poach the egg is that they get a kukja, like a, what do you call it? A spatula.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then they pour the egg in the kukja and dip it into the ramyeon
Yeah.
so that the ramyeon 국물 won't get too fucked up, but it'll cook the egg. So when you're done, it'll maintain the consistency of
Genius.
the ramyeon 국물.
That's genius.
But then the egg will be cooked, and it won't be all fucking milky and whatever.
That's actually genius. I love that idea.
Right. So that was something that I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about ramyeon, it's a little bit off topic, but these days I've actually been my self-esteem regarding my comedy has been plummeting. Like, it's just fucking falling.
Oh, really?
It's awful right now. So last week we started doing shows again at the a craft house.
Yeah.
Last week there was 5 people in the audience.
And you still did the show?
We still did the show.
I thought you would cancel a show if it was less than 10 people.
That's another venue. But
Oh,
the
okay.
craft house is smaller, so we said, whatever.
Okay. Right. Craft House is like it's like a microbrewery.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then and Tongun was there too, right? And so we go up on stage, and people nobody's really having a good set, right? I think out of all, 7, 8 of us, we're all kind of struggling, right? And then I go up last, and I just fucking lay up. I fucking shat on the stage pretty much. I diarrhea all over.
Would you
the
say
stage.
it's the worst show of your time in Korea?
No, but
Okay.
But I was like, wow. But some of these are tested material. Like, I've done it on stage for other people, and it worked.
Yeah.
But then this was more like. It wasn't. They weren't even laughing out loud. They
Well,
were like,
there's 5 people.
it was
They're not
but it was like nervous laughter. It wasn't even if one person laughed a little hard, that would have been good. But it was more like,
yeah.
it was like, oh, I feel awkward for you, guy on stage.
I will say though, I've been to shows
Right.
where there's only been 5 people,
Right.
and I found jokes funny, but I found myself not laughing because
Right.
I don't want any attention on myself.
Right.
So maybe people were just shy and didn't want to laugh.
So as kind of a joke, I said, okay, so I was kind of bombing on stage, right? So the final joke, I said, if this joke don't work, I'm fucking retiring, right? That's what I did, right? And this joke that I'm not going to say on here because it only works in Korean, right? But it works about 96% of the time I've tried it. It used to be 98% until last week, and it dropped it down about 96%.
Oh,
right?
really?
So I told the joke after I straight up set it up as, if this shit don't work, I'm retiring.
Wait,
right?
you said that on stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, 이거 안 먹히면 나 은퇴할 거야, 씨발, right? Right?
Okay.
And then I did it, and it did not work. And I said, thank you for seeing my last performance, you motherfuckers.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that
I'm glad that happened actually.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't be telling this story.
No,
I think it's like
so now some people. So there was about like 6 comics or 7 comics that were there to see it.
Yeah.
And so as a joke, we have like a group Kakao Talk group chat thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, Danny Hyung retired. Right.
Yeah.
So some people took it really serious. I was really butthurt.
Uh-huh.
And so Chaeyoungi, the head of the comedy,
Oh my gosh.
Comedy Haven, whatever, the Comedy Alive
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank you. oh my gosh. It's not a club. he just tossed us some napkin.
So Chaeyoungi, he calls me. He's like, "Hyung, are you okay?" Like, he's trying to talk me off of a ledge, and I was
this
like,
doesn't end. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, nah, I'm all right, dude. Don't worry about it, right? And so, he's like, I was like, don't worry, dude. I was just fucking around, right? I'm not retiring, right?
Yeah.
So the next week, which is 3 days ago,
Uh-huh.
I had another show. This time, about 20 people showed up. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try stuff that I've never tried before.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like material that I've never tried. And, in my mind, as all comics, when they try out new material, in their mind, there is some evidence of funny in this, right? Like that's why I would bring it up on stage. There's a little bit of, I think there's a shadow of funny in there, right? And then, so I tell this joke, and it gets nothing. And then I go, all right, I'll shake it off. And I tell another joke, and that one got nothing, right? And I went, oh man, my self-esteem is in the shitter right now. It's my self-esteem right now is in B1, is basement right now, right? So, but here's the story. Here's the joke. The first one that I thought would get a little giggle, and the reason why I bring it up is because of ramyeon, right? So I was at a cafe writing material, right? And I hear a girl come in, and she yells, "Oppa!" Right?
Yeah.
Now in my mind, I was look up and kind of hoping that maybe it's someone that I know. Right?
Okay.
But to my disappointment, it was nobody that I knew, and the oppa was not directed at me. Right?
Oh, okay.
So I was a little bit sad when I looked around. All the other guys in the cafe looked up too, as if we were playing fucking Mafia and nightfall happened, right? So we all look up, you know, and I'm like, that bit, right? So we all point at who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there was a couple definitely on a date, and even that dude looked up, right?
Okay.
And so I try to explain that the sound of a woman saying oppa is like ramyeon 냄새 for your ears, right?
Okay.
Because every time you smell ramyeon, no matter how full you are, you kind of want a bite, right?
That one takes a little bit to process.
Yeah, and so everyone looked up at the sky like you did.
Yeah.
When I told them, right? Everyone looked up like, wait a minute, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. Again, I know that it's not fully like developed.
Yeah, but you got all jokes come from
right.
Yeah, it's got to go through the ringer.
Right.
You know?
So I went, oh shit, that didn't work. So the second joke I told was,
so you got one of these, like the.
Yeah, I got one of those. I didn't even get a laugh. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Not even at the mafia part? I thought the mafia part was okay, right?
Oh wow, that's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second joke I told was that I was like, you know what? Fuck the coronavirus, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck the coronavirus. I can't even meet girls these days because one time I went to a pojangmatcha, saw a girl that was kind of cute. I said, hey, you want to have a drink with me? She's like, I'm sorry, I'm social distancing. Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, fuck the coronavirus, motherfucker, right?
Yeah, you went to Pyunmek recently?
Yeah.
Like in the last week or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, people are starting to go back out. Yeah, actually.
They've always been out, matter of fact. Like the big places have not closed down. You know the pojangmatchas that I go to in Hongdae?
Yeah.
They actually take your phone number and your information.
Because they have you on CCTV and
no, in case that if somebody gets the coronavirus at their store, then they can tell everybody, yo, go get it checked out.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's responsible.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So anyway, my self-esteem's been in the shitter when it comes to my funny, and I haven't felt like this about my funny in quite some time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Like, it's like when I go do a show and only 2 people show up. But I still try to give my best performance. But at the same time, the whole time, you're thinking, what are the 2 people thinking?
Why don't you just a part of me is like, just go home.
I remember I went to a show, right? And I was there and I ran into another friend who was also a singer-songwriter. And we were the 2 people in the audience.
So you just saw each other?
And we just stayed there because we knew how it felt to be abandoned.
Right.
It was a festival, a music festival. So there's lots of music going on.
Right.
And it was one person. We just decided to check out.
Oh.
And we saw each other like just randomly there.
Right.
The other friend. I went alone. She went alone. And we're watching this person play.
Yeah.
And after about 30 seconds, we realized, yeah, this person sucks.
But did you leave? Though?
No. So we both stayed. And so we were both like kind of at this point where I'm thinking, hey, what is she thinking?
Right.
Like what? And she's thinking the same thing. We talked afterwards.
Yeah.
And really, I waited until I think it was maybe I left first.
Right.
It was after I think we stuck it out for like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then finally we just left and we kind of gave a smile to the person, and we're like, oh, we gotta go, like, and then so that gave her the okay to leave too,
Right.
And we both left.
Then how did that person?
And we're like, oh man, I wanted to leave earlier, but you know how it is.
So did the person stop the set because there's nobody watching, or or that person just sound checked for another 30 minutes?
Well, I would hope that they kept going, because you're bound to your time. You have to, a venue books you.
Right.
And you're supposed to do your time.
Even if there's nobody listening?
It depends. If you're getting paid no matter what, then you should do your whole set. Because someone might walk in at 30 minutes and you're not playing music, and they're going to just walk back out. So as opposed to you playing a song and they walk in halfway and they're like, oh, I can come in and I can realize that I'm the only person 15 seconds in and decide to stay for 2 more songs.
So she played for a grand total of 4 people.
I mean, that's how the businesses work. And then for that first song, you're like, I definitely need a drink, so then the business makes money that way. So I don't know.
I know I'm
talking out of my ass.
I know in a previous episode, we talked about, like my worst gig, right?
Yeah,
but I've never heard of.
Did we?
Yeah, about doing it in front of a Starbucks because of culture.
Now
right. I've talked to about a few terrible gigs for me, right?
Yeah.
But I've never heard of a terrible gig. Like, what was the worst, most fucked up gig you've done?
Oh, I don't know.
There was a look in your eye, and I think I was like, was I there?
There's a lot.
Right.
To be honest, like it happens at least once a year. But I will say one of the worst ones was actually well attended.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't necessarily, like, it's not a bad show if there's like 1 or 2 people, honestly.
Right.
Because one time I did a show for 1 person, and that person happened to be Bobo from No Brain. And then, and then one time I did a show in Jeju, though. 1 person showed up, and then I had 2 friends that drove me there.
Right.
So it was 3 people, and the owner. And I did that show, and that 1 person that came to see me play happened to be a journalist.
Oh, wow.
And wrote about this guy played a great show for 1 person, basically, and that was good for me. So I played a show at the, I guess I don't want to say where, but it was at a hotel on a rooftop. A lot of people
in Korea.
Yeah. It's like one of those gigs where
nobody pays attention.
They're not there for me. Yeah. They're there because they want to be on the rooftop of a hotel in Korea. And it's a fancy hotel. And yeah, fancy drinks. It's a date place. And I ended up having to do like 2 sets there to a lot of people. And I don't know, I just remember thinking this was my rock bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they asking you to sing like were they asking you to sing requests like?
Yeah, no, someone one of the managers like after the first set was like, hey, maybe not sing sad songs. And I'm like, what the hell else do I sing? All my songs are sad.
I only have sad songs.
So I started to sing like covers, like which is, I'm against that.
Yeah.
So I sang like songs that I don't sing normally, but I had to look it up, and like I looked it up on the phone and stuff. I was saying like Coldplay, The Scientist. I was like, oh, I sung that in 노래방. Maybe I could do this. And I did that. I remember cracking.
Yeah.
And I was just so embarrassed, but I realized no one's listening anyway. It was just like, it was such a weird situation. I got paid really well for the show. I was really grateful for it. It got me through a hard time.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, this is my rock bottom.
Yeah.
playing a hotel, basically being the bar singer.
Yeah.
I don't know, not to put down singers, bar singers,
But some lounge singers or like bar singers,
lounge singers, yeah.
they like people like they pay attention to them. Like that's the
'cause
fucking show.
They're amazing,
Right. But then they were just like, all right, whatever.
it's not a good fit for me. Like for me, I think my music only appeals to people that don't care. Like no.
I don't care about what about.
No, I mean, people actually have to know my music, I think, to come
Right.
see me play. I don't know. I don't get a lot of like walk-in traffic where like, oh, I like this guy. I don't think that really happens for me much. I don't know. I could be wrong, but like I've no one's ever said hi to me after saying, "Hey, man, I've never heard of you, but good job." Like, that used to happen when I used to do open mics in the very beginning. The reason why I kept going was I was getting so much love from strangers in the beginning when I was doing open mics in New York and in LA or wherever. That was a good indication that I should keep going. But then again, that was like the late 90s, like or the early 2000s. And you know how the story goes from there.
I did it was like one of those end of the year banquets.
What's that? Like a heshik for like was it a Korean thing?
Korean American. I'll tell you what it is. It was a Korean American Bar Association, right?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of fucking lawyers, right?
Yeah.
And they want me to tell jokes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everyone's
Make 'em
drinking.
laugh.
No one's paying attention. You know.
Yeah.
And I went, you know what? Fuck off. I got on stage and I was like, because after like a few jokes, no one was listening. I was like, you know what? Fuck all you guys. I hope you are all DUI lawyers because that's all the cases you're gonna get.
Did you walk off?
Yeah, and I walked off.
Oh, you should have. Oh man, I wish you did one of those Bill Burr things where he had like 30 minutes, a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
This is one of the most epic things I've seen online on YouTube. You know clearly, right? Bill Burr
it's
roasts.
It's rants on Philly.
Rants on
right?
Philly. It's the best thing.
Bill Burr's rant on Philly probably kind of boosted his career from what it was.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the first real jump start into the internet culture, knowing who Bill Burr is.
Yeah.
And then from there, Bill Burr went on a tear in terms of the amount of specials that came out, like maybe one every 2 years, like bang, 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 bang. And he did like, about 5 or 6 of them,
Yeah.
And that kind of pushed him to a point where now he's arguably the top comic in the country or in the world, like the U.S. comic, not including like someone like Chappelle.
Yeah.
But in terms of just consistently for the last 10 years, just banging them out, it might be Bill Burr, right? And so,
I agree. I really love Bill Burr.
did you see Louis' last special?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't. I listened to the first few minutes and I was so busy. I've just been really busy lately.
Right.
I'm like curious to see what the material is, but I feel like Bill Burr actually
Topped him? Took the spot?
No, I think that's what happened. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Louis was like on the biggest role ever. And Bill Burr was also doing really well at the time. But but he was, if you were going to compare the two comics, I feel like Louis had
he had a leg up.
he had a definite, he had his own like deal with FX doing his own show, and it was awesome, a really great show. Every stand-up special was just better than the last. I feel like he did one every year. Bill was like not in that realm yet, or maybe it just wasn't paying attention. But I really love Louis, and then when Louis went away, I only listened to Bill Burr.
Right.
And then now I just have this like connection to Bill Burr. Like whenever I go online, I listen to his podcast. He does one on his own. He does one with Bert
Kreischer?
yeah. The Bill and Bert. He had another one before with another guy, but I didn't really listen to that
Joe
one.
DeRosa?
Yeah. But he just does really well in those situations, I think, as well as on his stand-up stuff. I like his, his banter. I love him on Conan when he does talk shows. I love that he doesn't always kill it, but like you can see the frustration is also part of the entertainment.
He's the best. Yeah. He's the best angry ranter, I think.
Yeah.
In comedy.
You guys got to check out that Philly clip where
Rant.
he's just like he could have just walked off stage, but like F you guys, but he actually is like, no, I have 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And he keeps going he's like saying you guys have the worst team and like,
well the backstory, I'm not gonna ruin the whole thing, but I'll give you the backstory if you guys are gonna watch the Philly rant. Is that so it was a comedy like event hosted by Opie and Anthony, right? It was a FX or XM radio show, like satellite
like
radio.
Outside festival.
Yeah,
right?
apparently there was like 10,000 people in Camden, New Jersey.
Outside
right?
festival, outdoor festival.
Yeah, outdoor festival. And there's usually like 12 like a huge lineup, right? So you're outdoors, you're drunk, the air, and then the Opie and Anthony crowd are very like, like just degenerate assholes, right? And so
us.
and
Okay.
so what happened was people started getting tired and started just booing people for no reason, right?
Yeah, they're in the sun and
so they started booing people before Bill.
Yeah,
right?
they were billing like Tracy Morgan, right? And like people like that. Right?
They booed the guy before Bill apparently was a guy named Dom Herrera, right? And Dom Herrera is like a Philly dude.
Yeah.
Old school comic, like in the comedy world, like he's like the big samchun, like mad respect to Dom Herrera, right?
Yeah.
But then most people don't know who he is, right? So they just start booing his ass, right? And then Bill Burr goes up and he's trying to tell some material and they just start booing him.
Yeah.
Even though Bill Burr was on the Opie and Anthony show like many times. So like they know who he is, but they just start booing him because they're just assholes.
Yeah.
They just wanted like Jim Norton because, that's he's the guy on the show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Bill just snaps and shits on the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah. And then people start getting on his side.
Right.
Because he had like the balls to do what it's just it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is but the backstory is apparently after the set, Bill goes backstage and he thought that his career was over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said his head hurt, like he was like, "Oh, fuck."
Oh, man. Okay.
But luckily and thankfully, it like everybody was like, "What are you talking about? That was awesome."
Yeah.
But Bill's like, "Oh, I don't think this was the right move."
Oh, man.
But then what happened was I think it really did like kind of kick his career into overdrive in terms of who he is.
Dude, you know what the sad thing about that sentiment is?
What?
Like, I've done many shows where I've gotten off stage and I felt like, man, I think my career is over. And it's been the truth.
Like, no one said, "Well, no, it was awesome." Everybody was like, "Yeah, that was tough."
Oh man, it's nearing that hour. I think I kind of like have been a lightweight when it comes to alcohol these days. I think I'm kind of buzzed.
Really?
Yeah, it might be also that the blood isn't flowing in my legs, so I'm just like having circulation on this top part, and like the alcohol is just rushing in my head and stuff like that.
It's just makgeolli, bro.
Yeah. Just makgeolli.
Yeah, it's just makgeolli.
I don't know, but we basically drank 2 bottles now.
All right.
And 1 bottle usually makes me buzz for sure.
Well,
anyway,
why don't we go to the our segment of Dear Korea?
Yeah, let's close this out strong.
Yeah.
So didn't we kind of do Dear Korea earlier when we were like
about the sitting on the floor, about the trasok?
Yeah. I guess we'll do a part 2 of Dear Korea.
Well, okay. I guess, Dear Korea, I know that you're not going to get rid of sitting on the floor, right? So I have 2 things to say about that. We can sit on the floor, but you can cut another hole on the floor You know what I mean? So that it's it's sitting on the floor, but your legs go. So you're sitting
Through
on a
the
chair
floor?
like a bench. They have places like that, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where it looks like you're sitting on the floor, but when you look underneath,
There's something under.
there's an opening so your legs can fold in.
But that's
down.
not really sitting on the floor. You're
That's what
just
I'm saying.
slitting.
Just cut some fucking holes underneath the table, right? Or,
Yeah.
and this is important, if you have the audacity,
Uh-huh.
if you have the audacity to make it an uncomfortable sitting on the floor place,
Yeah.
you better have the best food on the block, right? Whatever you're serving, it better
That's
be
fair.
it better be
Yeah.
the best. If you're serving 매운 갈비찜 or 등뼈 or whatever, it better be the fucking best. If it
Yeah.
is
You know-
mediocre and oh my god,
You know, like that place, the Hannam 감자탕 place?
yeah,
Like half that place you have to sit on the floor.
right.
I feel like they deserve it. Yeah. They're
It
open
is good.
24 hours.
Right.
It's always a safe bet to go there.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Korea, dear Korea.
Have you been to a place where you sat on the floor and the food was garbage?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Because if
Maybe.
I sat on the floor and they gave me ramen like both you and I had, I'd be like, yo, fuck this place. I'm going to learn how to write Korean
Yeah.
to write a bad review. Right? I'm going to write a bad review on Mango Plate or
Either
whatever.
that, or maybe there's a way to, teach foreigners how to sit correctly, or like how to get used to sitting on the floor. Maybe there's a course we could take.
No, but like I see it, but I even see it in Korean variety shows where like when they get like pedal,
Yeah.
right? And every Korean variety show, they sit on the floor with like if they have like a small like coffee table and they use that as the table. So everyone's always sitting on the floor on Korean variety shows when they eat at home.
Okay, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
동훈이도 너 집에서 밥 먹을 때 바닥에서 좌석 뭐?
아니 식탁에서
넌
Oh,
식탁에서? 오 shit.
저는
Yeah.
테이블 그냥 있으면 거기다 먹어요. 전 따로 없어요.
Well, we like at our house, we'll bring out the floor table. What do you call those? The tomas.
No, Toma is a
no.
cutting board.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we bring out the table for the floor
Right.
when we get fried chicken.
Yeah.
I was gonna say chicken fried.
Yeah.
I think I've had too much of this, but anyway, we'll get fried chicken or takeout. Whenever we get pedal, we'll always take that out and eat like a family around.
Right.
And watch, because that's where the TV is.
Right.
And so usually we have dinner at the dinner table, which doesn't have a view of the TV. But when we're eating fried chicken or pizza with soda,
Right.
like we want, or if we were doing this
Yeah.
at home, we would do it in front of the TV.
If you did this
Yeah.
at home,
Like-
then you'd probably be like, you know what, this is rock bottom for me.
Yeah.
If I did this
Yeah.
at home,
Okay.
if I made this a meal at home,
Okay.
well, 혼밥? Nah, I don't do it this way.
So we're going to close out this episode by showing you what Danny and I are going to have for dessert. And this here is a banana cake. We already talked about this on a previous episode, but I guess Danny really wanted it because he said it's good with makgeolli.
Yeah, because it's sweet. For those that have not listened to the previous episode where we talk about it, it's like the Cheetos Puffs, but banana flavored.
Yeah, here we go. Cheetos, but banana flavored. Sweet.
All right,
and
everybody.
my tansanzu, which is seltzer water, lemon flavored. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time on Noonchi Podcast. Please let us know if you liked this episode or if it was a waste of your time, so we know what to do in the future. All right.
You know what's funny? If people watched all the way up to here and then they said it was a waste of their time, I'd still love them for it. Do you know what I mean? Because they made it
Thank
this
you.
far, right? So
We love you.
thank you for listening. Leave us a comment. Email us at noonchipodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Noonchi Podcast and all social media accounts. All right? Talk to you all later.